unless you've been living under a rock, you'll all know that Uncle Andy got himself in quite the pickle the other year. And now it's been revealed that Prince Andrew's documents relating to his numerous business trips will not be released until 2065, meaning the Duke will not face any scrutiny over them unless he lives to the age of 105, making him the grand old Duke of York. That's dreadful. And speaking of when they were down, it comes as royal biographer Andrew Morton says there's not a flipping chance in the world that Meghan Markle will ever return to the UK. Ever, apparently, because of the prospect of having to curtsy to Kate Middleton. Really? Joining me to discuss this live from LA, I'm so pleased she's back, the host of the To Die For Daily podcast, Kinsey Schofield, and from Suffolk, very posh, former BBC royal correspondent Michael Cole. Good evening, one and all. Michael, you're looking a bit sunburnt, son. What's gone on?
I live a healthy life, Jeremy. You know, I don't have to go to California for sunshine. We have it here up in Suffolk.
Lovely, lovely Suffolk. Kinsey, how are you, sweet? You okay?
I'm great. Good to see you and Michael.
And you, thank you. So can we talk about, start with you, Michael, Andrew's documents. I mean, this will only by saying they won't come out till 2065 make people say along the lines of, what's there to be hidden then? Isn't this just a bit of an own goal?
Precisely so. Such wisdom in one so young. This is absurd. It's outrageous. And it's very unwise because it invites suspicion that something is being hidden. Now, Prince Andrew was the trade envoy for this country, working on behalf of this country on trips paid for by you and me, the taxpayers, going round the world. Now, there were reports that during his time as a trade envoy, he was outrageously rude to people, overbearing, and really not what you want to see in an ambassador for the British people and the British government and this country. And perhaps in some of those reports, which are now being suppressed for a ridiculously long amount of time, maybe reports from the ambassador reporting upon his conduct and what went on. Now, we are entitled to know we paid for this. Now, it's quite normal for royal wills to be suppressed and to be held in undercover forever. But these are government documents from the Department of Trade and Industry, and they should be known. There are other issues too. I mean, was our friend Jeffrey Epstein, his late friend, involved in any of this? Were some of the business deals to do with Jeffrey Epstein? The only way to clear these sort of matters out is to be candid about it.
Couldn't agree with you, Michael. Couldn't agree with you more. And I just think Kinsey would agree. It just raises more and more questions. But I'm going to park the grand old Duke of York, because what would Jeremy Kyle Live be unless we were able to talk about Harry and whatever? So lots going on. First of all, apparently she's never coming back because she doesn't want to curtsy to Kate Middleton. We saw him at... help me out, LA style. We saw him at Beyonce looking really hacked off. His wife was giving it, I can't do anything like that. He looked like Then we saw him at the football, right? We saw him at the football looking as happy as Larry. Larry's not involved. His missus wasn't at the football. And he was basically... nobody wants to talk. It's all going wrong, isn't it, Kins, to be fair?
Well, I mean, I think Meghan was likely not at the football game because she threw her back out while twerking at Beyonce. So thoughts and prayers to Meghan Markle.
Yes.
But, I think that Andrew Morton's absolutely correct. Now, Meghan wouldn't have to bow to the Princess of Wales until she became Queen Consort. But I certainly think that Meghan will avoid the UK, and for self-preservation. She does not want the boos. She doesn't want the negative attention. And we did see them boo her at the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. She wants to go where she's celebrated and elevated, and apparently that's at Beyonce
because there's nobody that celebrates her anymore. Where's she going to go for celebration? Talk to her chickens? Come on. There's nobody that celebrates her.
The Beyonce concert.
Listen, all I know is, and I try and flip it both ways. I mean, Harry, on the other hand, is coming to the UK this week. And actually, Michael, you could say it's a bit sad. I mean, he's come to talk about Invictus Games, which, by the way, didn't even reach top 10 on Netflix, which is just sums up everything. He's not even going to see his family. I would love, briefly, for you both to explain to me, do you think that there is any part of Harry that's already thinking, oh, my God, I gave this all up for this woman. We're ostracised from my family. Public opinion is against us. We make PR gaffe after PR gaffe. Do you think, Michael Cole, that he's already thinking what might have been if it had gone a different way?
We cannot look into his mind at the moment, but it's a possibility. I mean, Kinsey will bear me out. In America, people are serial monogamists. They regard each marriage as very interesting, but then they move on to the next one. Miss Markle has already had one marriage, and now she's on to her second one. Who can say, when she has her political ambitions, where she might wish to go? Harry is coming back here to take part in a very worthy event called Well Child, where the accent and the focus is going to be on seriously ill children who've done wonderful things in the world. Now, that was all BM. That was all before Meghan. And Invictus Games was all before Meghan. And he's stuck with those charities, and quite rightly so. Unfortunately, when he appears on the day before the first anniversary of the Queen's death, the focus will be on him. So I hope he doesn't make the mistakes he made in the Invictus film, where he was talking about himself and his own mental anguish in a film that featured 6 terribly injured servicemen.
Could not Michael Cole agree with you more? And Kinsey, I watched that and I thought to myself, I'm going to keep an open mind. And I thought the stuff with Invictus was fantastic, as Michael says about World Child, but then he had to make it about himself. And that really is the feeling. Over here, we hear reports that his programme didn't even get in the top 10, and whatever, you know, we personally think. I mean, I guess Americans, I'd love to know what they think. Do they think that it's all over for those two? Do they look at them differently now? Is it just a boring topic? What's the Americans' view of Harry and Meghan now?
Well, the Invictus, Heart of Invictus was not blown up over here the same way that Harry and Meghan's documentary was on Netflix. And I do believe some of that is because Harry was likely unable to do media for this project because of the strikes, because, you're not allowed to promote certain projects. We also know he doesn't like media, so maybe that's the reason for it. But America is over them. I do think that most Americans think that they're boring. And Jeremy, it's hard to take Prince Harry seriously when he uses that platform to regurgitate, these old issues and talk about how he's just this fragile individual because of his past. But then we see him on the day after the anniversary of Princess Diana's death, the day Mohammed Al Fayed dies, at a Beyonce concert, living his best life. It's hard to believe he's sincere, because a normal person would say, you know what, I'm going to sit this one out because this doesn't look great.
Completely agree. And I have to go. I could speak to you two forever, and I'm so grateful for you being on. I just think the overall view always is they never seem to get it right. Michael Cole, Kinsey Schofield, my favourite too. Thank you so much. And